Job loss puts a filter over your vision, but that filter isn't permanent. Your future self knows something your current self has forgotten. You're not defined by one employer's decision. You're defined by the cumulative evidence of your capabilities, your character, and your contributions. And that evidence is wrong.